Hi guys, good evening. How is everybody's Monday going? Happy Monday to everybody. Well, my day has been, a typical day, just busy and kids getting on your nerves and, especially the girls. These girls have been fighting like cats and dogs. Oh my God, guys, don't let me get started on them. But anyways, hope everybody had got home safely, or if they are going to work, I hope they are, safe and sound at work. And if you happen to be on the road traveling, you're in my prayers to make it to your destination safely. Um, Anyways, guys, I'm Veronica. I'm back at it again. Um, this case that I am going to be talking about today, I never heard of it, and I don't understand why I never heard of this. Kind of baffled me. I was like, I never heard of this case, and it kind of got to me. I was like, I hear almost about everything, and it's like, no, I didn't hear about this one, none at all. But this is the case of Barry Dale Laconis, something like that, guys. I know I butchered it, and I am very sorry, but I cannot pronounce his name for nothing. But he was a school shooter and I never heard of this, guys. This happened back in 1996, and I never heard of it. And I was like, oh my God. But anyways, his name, we're just gonna call him Barry. Barry went into a Frontier Middle School, which is located in Washington. And shot up the algebra class, but he shot his main targets, who was the two kids that bullied him, but he also shot the algebra teacher and another girl, but she survived. The other three unfortunately did not. But this case is a classic case of bullying and what can cause a kid to snap whenever they are bullied a little too much, when they're bullied to that point. It's no excuse to go in, shooting up the classroom, shooting up people. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is the bullying has got to stop. I mean, it has got to, because this is what causes a lot of these kids to just snap. That's why they just snap. And when I went to school, I had, I never was bullied. I don't know what it's like, but I did take up for this person one time whenever he was, just starting high school. He's a freshman. I was maybe a junior, maybe a sophomore. I was one of them. But I had been at school, for a good minute. And, he was getting bullied by two people off of the football team. I guess because he wore glasses. He was timid. He was kept to himself, basically. It bothered nobody. And they was just bullying him in the hallway for no apparent reason. And yes, I spoke up on his behalf, and just like I told him, he didn't know where he was going. Obviously, new school and everything. I helped him get to his class. And, like I told him, you ever need me, you know where I'm at. I'm here in the school. I'm here for you. That's how it should be nowadays. Whenever you see somebody getting bullied, you should step up and help the one that is getting bullied. You should be a voice for them. No matter what. Who cares what anybody thinks? It doesn't matter what the football player thinks, or the basketball or cheerleader. It doesn't matter, because what are they going to be in 10 years? Probably knocked up pregnant somewhere and doing whatever else, while the one they bullied is probably going to be out here getting that clout, but I'm not putting nobody down in any means. I'm not doing anything like that, because there are some awesome people out there, that are popular in high school, but also got morals and know how to treat other students with respect, just like they would want to be treated. And I love that, because we had some of those whenever I went to school. Not many, but we had quite a few of them. But anyways, guys, with no further ado, let's get into it. Let's go. No bullying. Don't bully me, guys. Okay. Nah, just joke. Okay. Let's go, guys. This is the case of, we're just going to call him Barry because I cannot pronounce his last name for nothing. And, you know, I'm not trying to keep on butchering his last name. Pardon me, guys. Okay, the Fontier Middle School shooting was a school shooting that occurred on February 2nd, 1996 at Fontier Middle School in Moses Lake, Washington, United States. The gunman, 14-year-old Barry, born February 26, 1981, killed his algebra teacher and 2 students and held his classmates hostage before a gym coach subdued him. So yeah, a gym coach actually stepped up, and stepped in and was a hero. He's the one that subdued him, held him down until cops came. That's a hero for you, a straight hero. Okay, on the day of the shooting, guys, Barry was dressed as a Wild West style gunslinger and gunslanger, something like that, and was wearing a black duster. He was armed with a .30 caliber hunting rifle and 2 handguns, which were a .357 caliber revolver and a .25 caliber semi-automatic pistol. Melania, help her! That belonged to his father and was carrying approximately 200 rounds of ammunition. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm back, guys. I had to get my kids situated. Anyways, like I was saying, salute to this coach who subdued him until the police came. But anyways, on the day of the shooting, we went through that, didn't we, guys? Sorry. Okay, the .25 caliber semi-automatic pistol that belonged to his father and was carrying approximately 200 rounds of ammunition, guys. 200 rounds of ammunition. Wow. So, wow, Mom, that's a lot to be carrying at such a young age. Barry walked from his house to a school where he had entered his algebra classroom during 5th period. He opened fire at students, killing 2, Arnold Fritz and Manuel Verla Jr., both 14. Another student, 13-year-old Natalie Hintz, sustained critical gunshot wounds to the right arm and stomach and was airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Barry then fatally shot his algebra teacher, Leona Cares, in the chest. Teacher and coach Joe Lane entered the classroom upon hearing the gunshots to find Barry holding his classmates hostage. So he went from, this was a hostage situation, he went from a shooting to a hostage situation and like that. He planned to use one hostage so that he could safely exit the school. Lane volunteered as the hostage, and Barry kept him at gunpoint with his rifle. Lane then grabbed the weapon from Barry and wrestled him to the ground, later assisting in the evacuation of the students. Lane kept Barry subdued until police arrived at the scene. Awesome. Bravo to the coach, and the teacher. He's a teacher and a coach. It was just, Lord, I wouldn't know what to do in that situation, guys. What would y'all do in a situation like if y'all were a teacher and your student come in there, and he is firing off rounds and rounds and rounds of shots? I wouldn't know what to do, guys. I think I would just panic and just go insane. I think I would die of a heart attack. I ain't even gonna lie. In the year prior to the shooting, Barry's family, was facing various dysfunctional issues, we could say. His parents were separated in 1995. After his mother discovered that her husband was having an affair, she filed for divorce against her husband in January 1996. Sorry, guys, had to think. His mother, Joanne Phillips, was a dominating woman mean, she was a very controlling woman, very, had to have that control. That if she didn't have that control, she was not in control, I mean, hold on a minute, guys. Hold on a minute. I am back, guys. Yeah, like we were saying, his mother was a very dominating lady that she had to be in control. Maybe that's why her husband cheated, be honest with you. But anyways, she became increasingly distant and began speaking to suicide. Now, guys, listen to this part. This is something you do never do to your kid. I mean, what mother would? I mean, just listen to it, guys. She would frequently imply that her son Barry would also have to kill himself. Yeah, guys, you heard that right. She literally just told her son that since she's going to kill herself, he's going to have to off himself too. And this was going to have to happen on Valentine's Day of 1996. What a mother, right? Mother of the Year award. Yeah. Barry talked his mother out of doing so by having her write down her feelings. So Barry was not a bad person. He was not. Somebody that can talk their mother down from suicide by writing her feelings down. That's somebody that has feelings. That's somebody. Quit screaming. That is somebody that has feelings. That is somebody that is, in touch with his feelings. Most of the time, my God, I gotta. Anyways, guys, I am back. I'm getting very frustrated with my kids. Very frustrated, as you can tell. Anyways, this part we're going to get into the mental illness. What they was diagnosed with, and maybe, try to figure out, we know what caused it, and it was the bullying is what caused it, basically. It all boils down to that. Psychologists hired by the defense believe that Barry suffered from either depression or bipolar disorder. And guys, me suffering from bipolar disorder myself and being a major depressant, I know how that feels. I know exactly how that feels, and how, you have your manic times, you have your depressive times, you have all these times. Hold on a minute, guys. Hold on a minute. One more time. Okay, guys. Like I was saying, being bipolar and being major depressive at the same time, I know how that feels, and I know your ups and downs that you have with that and how severe it can get. It's something that I cannot even. It's something that I cannot even tend to explain. It's something that is hard to explain when you don't suffer from it. While the prosecution witnesses that Dr. Alan Utz, a professor of psychiatry and behavioral science at the University of Washington, diagnosed him with dysamic disorder. I don't know what that is, but okay. Barry suffered from hyperactivity and was taking Ritalin at the time of the shooting. He also suffered from clinical depression, a mental illness presented in the last 3 generations of the family and the last 4 generations of the Phillips family. So on both sides, there was clinical depression on both sides of his family, his father's side and his mother's side. So really, there's no one. He probably was suffering from clinical depression, more than likely, because sometimes, most of the time that is inherited, and sometimes it's not. So, Barry claimed that he only intended on killing Manuel Vela, and the other deaths were accidental. Okay, in June 1996, the Spokane County of Appeals were to come to a decision whether 15-year-old Barry should be tried as an adult or a juvenile. On July 2nd, 3 members of the Spokane County of Appeals convinced Judge Evan Sperling to allow court-appointed psychiatrist Joan John Pritchard to present testimony based on Barry's mental health. The trial was later moved to Seattle, Washington, due to media publicity, but the media. Barry had pleaded insanity on all charges against him and claimed that mood swings were the cause of his violent actions. During his trial, John testified that Barry had been experiencing delusional and misleading thoughts before the shooting. He had stated he had felt like he was God and would laugh to himself. He felt he was superior to other people, and then those feelings were later replaced by hate, disdain, and not measuring up. So he was suffering from something. Prosecutors Donna Wise and John Kendall argued that Barry had carefully planned the shooting, getting ideas from the Pearl Jam song "Jeremy." The music video from "Jeremy" shows a troubled youth committing suicide in front of his teacher and classmates. Although it was largely believed that Jeremy had opened fire on the class, this had been widely misunderstood because MTV had strong anti-violence imagery rules. The original video showed the child putting the gun into his mouth. However, the only images allowed to air were those of the children covered in his blood. Prosecutors also said that he had gotten ideas from the Stephen King novel Rage and the films Natural Born Killers and The Basketball Diaries. Barry had also stated that he had tried to model his life after the novel Rage. Charlie Decker, who kills two teachers and takes his algebra class hostage. So he admitted to that, guys. He admitted to, basically looking up to the book Rage, written by Stephen King. The main character in it was Charlie Decker. I have read a little bit of that book. And I didn't read the whole thing, so I couldn't say what it's all about. On September 24th, 1997, Barry was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of second-degree murder, 1 count of first-degree attempted murder, and 18 counts of aggravated kidnapping. He was sentenced to serve 2 life sentences and an additional 205 years without the possibility of parole. He is currently in prison at the Calumet Bay Correction Centers in Washington State. The Washington State Court of Appeals denied Barry's request for a new trial in 1999. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in 2012 that people convicted of murder they committed under the age of 18 could not receive automatic life terms without parole, and in 2016 the court ruled that the policy also applied retroactively. Barry was heard for a resentencing in 2017, during which he apologized for it for the first time. In a letter to the Grant County Superior Court, he was resentenced to 189 years in prison, which is no better. He's still serving life. That's life. He's not going to get out anytime soon, Well, guys, that shooting basically took me by surprise because I have never heard of it, and when I read that up on it, I was like, we're gonna look into that. In 2017 he was still sentenced to 189 years, which they might as well have said life. I don't know what the courts think whenever they say give you life in prison and then they commute it to 189 years. They might as well just kept it at life, right? Right, guys, because he's going to live that long. I mean, my great-great-grandma, I think that's my great-great-grandma, I took care of her for a couple of years. She was a full-blooded Cherokee Indian, and she was like, they don't know, she was somewhere between 105 and 110 when she passed away. And I'm kind of scared to get that old, guys. I don't know, it's like, you go, they say you're an adult once and a child twice. That speaks to that in the Bible. But, anyways, guys, that's the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Give me some ideas, guys, on what kind of content or what y'all would like me to cover next, because, I love hearing from you guys. I would love to. If I did something wrong, I like, the criticism. That helps me build and helps me be better at what I do. If you are a hater, leave the hate comments because, hey, like I said, I like to hear from my critics, but that way to make me a better YouTuber. And that's what I am trying to do. Anyways, guys, remember, stay kind, stay beautiful, and always put God first and no bullying whatsoever. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. I love y'all. Mwah!